Hello everyone, this is Kevin T. Rodriguez, film critic of iCritic.net, and I've got a few words to pick with Bobby Burns and his opinion of VidAngel. And I want to say these opinions are not solely shared by him. This is actually a general thinking that most of us film critics have. And while I do believe there is a place for it, I think there also is a place for the opposite point of view. And I think a lot of people like Burns are kind of missing the point of what companies like VidAngel want. Now, before we get into the things I disagree with, let me get to the things that I do agree with. I do agree that film is very powerful. I do believe it should move you. You should let it move you. You should experience it. I do not believe in forced censorship. I do not believe in forced censorship. I would prefer, of course, that if you were uncomfortable with something in a movie, that you would simply pick another movie to watch. I do not believe that any amount of sanitizing or editing or stuff can make Wolf of Wall Street a kid-friendly movie. That said, I think we're missing some bigger key issues here. And to show what I mean, let me share an example of, I think it was 94, 95. When Nintendo sued a company called Game Genie for making cartridges where you would put Nintendo games into the cartridge and you would have like a little cheat code book. And with the Game Genie, you could alter the games. You could change visuals. You could, give yourself unlimited extra lives. You could jump straight to the last level. You could level select. You could do all these crazy things. And Nintendo sued them on copyright infringement grounds, basically saying, we made the games a certain way to be played a certain way, and Game Genie is taking that away from us. And the courts decided that while Nintendo may have intended for the games to be made this way, once someone bought the game, they were perfectly free and legally right to do whatever they wanted with that game. And if they wanted to mess and alter with the game, they were free to do so. And then you have people like me who I don't think highly of cheat codes. I think you should play the game the way it was meant to be played, but you know what? That's not for me to say that everyone should play the game that way. Some people might have more fun playing around with the game in ways that I wouldn't necessarily play with it. That's why modding can be so much fun, because modders, yes, they're changing the intent, they're changing the visual style, sometimes they're even changing the emotions, but that's fine. We encourage it because it can be fun. It can be fun to see how people reinterpret games. And games, like movies, are art. Final Fantasy VI, Final Fantasy VII, The Neverhood, Halo, Metal Gear Solid 4, Sons of Liberty, Tales of Vesperia, Street Fighter 2, Sonic the Hedgehog, or Sonic and Knuckles, specifically, in Sonic Adventure 2. These are all games that have left very big impressions on me and my life, just as much so as any movie can, and it's art. And I don't feel offended when people want to alter the game for their own personal amusement. That's what VidAngel does. I'm getting tired of people like Burns making claims that VidAngel is censoring and they're ruining movies. VidAngel's not censoring or ruining anything. They are providing a tool that lets people customize the movie and watch it how they want. Last I checked, it's no different than using the Game Genie codes. Now, will that change the intent of the movie and what the directors work so hard to give us? Yes. But again, when you own it, when you buy it, that is your freedom. And the thing is, as Burns was making the video, and he was showing the Alfred Hitchcock clip about how movies change meanings when you do this. Here's the funny thing. It had an opposite effect on me. I didn't want VidAngel to go away. I wanted VidAngel to win their lawsuit, because all of a sudden I was wondering, VidAngel could actually be really interesting. For $1, I wouldn't mind renting The Departed and taking out certain scenes and just kind of seeing what kind of movie it turns into. I think VidAngel would be fascinating for movie buffs to see, well, what would happen if you had taken this out? What kind of movie would you have then? What would it be about? I remember when someone a couple years ago did an interesting experiment with Inside Out, where they cut out all of the scenes with the emotions, which sacrilegious. Why would you do that? Because the guy said, hey, I want to know what it would look like without the emotions. And what was the movie about? It was about hockey. Really, it was a movie about hockey. I thought that was interesting. Now, granted, it wasn't nearly as good as when the emotions were there, but just because he changed the meaning of the movie, not a lot of people cried foul. Pete Docter even thought it was an interesting experiment. And I think things like VidAngel should be around. Do I see a point in watching a G-rated Game of Thrones or Wolf of Wall Street? No. Of course, the more you say it, I'm kind of curious to see what it would look like. For fun, if nothing else, I'll pay $1 to have fun. Aren't movies supposed to be fun? It's like, why are movies so untouchable? And Burns said that Hollywood is not assaulting audiences. They either make movies and we can choose to see them or not. And to a certain extent, that's true. But to a certain extent, he's wrong, because Hollywood is still assaulting us. Because here's the thing. My biggest argument for VidAngel, which you can see in other videos I've made, is that I get really tired of the F word creep. And that is the sense when you have a perfectly fine G or PG rated movie. And the only reason it's rated PG-13 is because they add the F word in there once. That seems like an assault. It's not there for artistic integrity. It's not there because it adds anything. It's there to bump the rating and to get it higher. That is an assault on me. What is wrong with paying VidAngel $1 to take the one F word out, and now the family can watch The Queen, which is an otherwise good movie that the whole family can watch? Why can't they do that? And the thing is, they can do that. He also claims that they're getting sued for doing it because because Hollywood doesn't like them offering their movies illegally without streaming rights. Here's something that you need to understand, and this is why VidAngel will most likely win their lawsuit. It's because VidAngel isn't doing anything illegal. That $20 you talked about, it's so you can purchase the video and then you sell the video back to them. And they only stream the movie to as many families as DVDs they have. Now, they explain in their own little video, but basically what they're doing is they found a legal way to do it. Hollywood just doesn't like that people are tampering with their stuff at all. But then Nintendo didn't like it when people were tampering with their games, and most of us would agree that is perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine to tamper with games, find new ways to play. Why can't we tamper with movies and find new ways to watch? I will agree with Burns on this, and most everyone else. I would prefer people experience a movie uncut the way it was supposed to be meant to be seen the first time through. I would rather them play around with the movie after they've seen it and after they understand what the director was intending to do. I believe that is absolutely true. But we need to really get out of this box and say that, hey, movies have no right to be touched. And by the way, VidAngel is also not for censorship, because if you want, you can actually rent a movie from VidAngel and watch it completely uncensored. Now, some would point out, well, you have to check one of the censor boxes. Well, select the box for the end credits. Watch the movie without the end credits. Then you can watch the movie uncut. And then you get to stream your movie for $1. $2 if you want HD, which HD is pretty good. So I want to end this video by saying I actually like Bobby Burns. I like his videos. I subscribe. I've watched pretty much all of them. And even this video, I agreed a fair amount with. But in my opinion, and I'm a film critic too, I might be more a film critic in print than on YouTube, but movies can be altered by audience members. If they buy the movie, they can own it. VidAngel would love to stream the movies. The studios won't work with them. So VidAngel found a roundabout legal way to do it, and they will win. And we'll have them back. And when they're back, I'm looking forward to renting all these movies, because I think now the concept of actually playing with the editing the way you were showing, Burns, hey, that's interesting. I'd like to see how the movies change. I'd like to make some videos explaining what I find with some of those changes. I would like to, maybe do reviews of what a G, PG, and PG-13 rated Wolf of Wall Street looked like. Really, I would. And it's So I'm kind of excited. I'm looking forward to them beating the lawsuit. And, you know, in a perfect world, we wouldn't need this. But in a day and age where Disney will even throw in like a quick sexual innuendo just to get the movie from G to PG, services like VidAngel are starting to seem like a necessary evil for some parents who want to watch a perfectly fine G-rated movie but cut out the 5-second joke that they don't want to explain to their kids. And I personally see nothing wrong with that. I prefer uncut. I will always watch uncut for my own personal safety, but you know what? VidAngel isn't deciding what to take out of the movies that people rent through them. They are letting the audience choose what to take out of them. That's not forced censorship. That's people exercising their rights to watch movies however they want. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. If I'd like to know what your 2 cents are, you can comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe. Also, check out the Bobby Burns video because it is a good video, and you can even subscribe to his channel too. I do genuinely have admiration for him. I'm just publicly disagreeing with him in this case because and it wasn't even necessarily him. He was just the straw that broke the camel's back. So anyway, and remember, flame responsibly. Have a good one.